Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing me to come into your life for the next few minutes. I hope you find my voice somewhat inspirational, a little motivational. It just gives you another way of looking at things. Okay, with that being said, let's jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick again, let me reiterate and just say thank you for allowing me to come in your life for the next few minutes. I hope our time together is pretty interesting, a little informational, conversational, and let you go throughout your day, and just gives you something to think about. I'm no authority. I'm just trying to spread some love, joy, and happiness around the world. Listen, let me tell you something real quick. I know I shared in the past couple of podcasts my recent situation in terms of this world pandemic, and you know what? I want to move away from that today. I really, really want to sit down and just kind of have a light conversation because we are being inundated with the whole, the COVID-19 thing and opening up the world and all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, the average Joe is still, kind of up in the air. He's concerned. He's curious. He's locked down with his family. And God forbid if some of you are by yourself. I hope that you're listening to me, and then maybe I can kind of just give you a little boost for your day. So I want to move away from that, okay? Because it's something that I just want to get into something light. I want to discuss a few things. I'm going to go old school. I want to talk about some things that I really like. Perhaps there's some people out there that might feel the same way that I do. And my first thing is, you know what? Early on in my life, I had a passion. I had a passion for performing. I mean, goes way, way back. I used to look at TV and actors and actresses and musicians and artists, and everybody would sit there and they said they had this burning passion, this burning desire since they were a child. And I'm like, come on, really? I mean, really? However, I can honestly say that I agree with them, and every time I see them, I look and I say, I get it. I had that desire as from a young boy. I started out playing in little garage bands with my friends. I did very little plays in school, but I took up the guitar. And then when I got into high school, it was in the back of my mind. Let me share a funny story with you. When I was in high school, they had career day my senior year. And my senior year, obviously, I was tossing around. You want a better life. You want to do this, and at the end of the day, you want to make mom and dad proud. You want to be able to push the family forward and all that good stuff. So I was always kind of twixt in between. I said, maybe I'll be a lawyer. That's interesting. Now I like the medical field because I like helping people. And all those things sounded nice, and I've actually had some friends who went on to those fabulous careers. However, I had this thing. I just wanted to perform. I wanted to get in front of people. I wanted to make people feel good. I wanted to make them smile, make them laugh. And if it got to a serious situation, I wanted them to think. So we had to write down on a piece of paper what career would you like once you leave high school. And I was so embarrassed. I was so quietly in this kind of in the closet pain. And I wrote down on a piece of paper, I wrote down that I wanted to be an actor. And I folded it up like 10 times and just threw it in a bucket there. And I guess the teachers, because I was kind of embarrassed about it. And with that being said, I probably didn't, I didn't say anything. I didn't think that they would even pay attention to it. So eventually, they sent us to these little career day. People came in and, they get their little spiel. And, God bless them. But when it came to the acting thing, it was very, very, very vague. There was nothing. I was like, they're not giving me the meat that I want. So I was kind of a little discouraged. However, when I graduated high school, I wound up going to college. And again, this burning desire had never faded. And I met some friends. I met a young lady who was a dancer. and we became friends, and I was intrigued by the fact that she had a love for the arts. And then they had an audition, and they were doing a college production of Pippin. And a friend of mine said, "Why don't you just go and audition?" Now, I wasn't really that familiar with the game. Hell, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't even know the show. So I wound up going over there, and the guy gave me the script, the music, and I started singing. And I got a call back. I was like, "Oh my God." I got a call back, and I had to go, I think, later on in the week. I had to do a little read from the show, blah, 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 blah. Now, here's what happened. They considered me for the lead player, which is, obviously the narrator of the show. And I was ecstatic about that. But then they realized that this kid might have the look, he might have the, thing going on there, but he was very green, very raw. So what they did is they kind of labeled me as the understudy for the narrator, and then they kind of threw me into the cast, the chorus, and I had several parts. I mean, I had like 4 makeup changes, but this first production I'll never forget, because it opened up my eyes into, this is it. This is what I want to do. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm kind of reflecting back on my college days. So anyway, long story short is we went through this whole, this rigorous rehearsals and production and costumes, and even the director of the show actually was, I actually remember his name. His name was Mr. Murphy, and he had done some TV shows for CBS, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on my way. And the show actually ran for 2 weeks. And we did shows for schools, and we did shows for senior citizens, and just regular general pop. Oh my God, it was my Broadway for 2 weeks, and it was great. I had some people ask for my autograph. I was like, what? It was insane. So anyway, I get all excited about that story. So long story short is, I was, that's what I wanted to do, but then life comes in the way, and there's this whole Renaissance thing going on. I mean, I went to college, I went to the military, I came home, I had a job, and then eventually there's a civil service test, and, I just coming out of the military, I got to find a job, and blah, blah. But the bottom line is, this thing for my performing has never gone away. And I know somebody's probably say, well, what happened? Well, just to cap it off real quick, I actually wound up, I did go to New York a lot of bit on some auditions. I did land a couple extra roles in a couple films. I did wind up getting on screen, which was my claim to fame. You could see me in my young days. I always tease, I stole a line from Rocky. One of my friends would say, yes, the Italian's dying when he was a baby, and I laugh and giggle about that. As I got older and I became a public servant, I did dabble. I did a bunch of shows because I got involved with the youth, the young people, and trying to share, my life experience with them and guide them in the right direction. So what happened is I wound up, and I was asked, because they knew I had a love for passion and golf. They asked me to be in some productions, and I wound up, I played Daddy Warbucks 4 times around town. I was like, I was Daddy Warbucks for hire. Played Scrooge for the high school play. I played Mufasa and a Lion King, very dear friend of mine who actually opened up a can of worms. And she actually started the whole thing when she asked me to be Daddy Warbucks. And I took my hat off and I was bald, and she was like, yeah, there you go. So, off to the races. And when I went to the rehearsal, the first one, I was like, oh my God, she's good. So that's where I am. So until this point now, that's never gone away. So, hey, listen, my new mantra right now for a lot of things is, and here's my standing conversation. And I want to share this message, is that, for a lot of people who, let's just say middle age, you have to address it. You have to own it. And they think that ship has sailed. And they think, you finish your career, you retire, you get your little pension, 401k, whatever the case may be. And that's it. And I say, what are you just going to go like right off into the sunset and sit on a recliner and watch Jeopardy for the rest of your life? No, it's never too late. That I'm stuck on that right now. It's never too late. There was a woman I watched on TV the other day, and she was doing a little interview, and if I can remember her name correct, Peggy Rowe. She's 82 years old, 82 years young, seriously, and she just finished writing her second book. Her first book was on the New York bestseller list last year, and her mantra was, "It's never too late," and that coincides with what I've been talking about. Is that, dreams deferred, and I'm part of that group because we've all had dreams. We've all had things in our lives that we really wanted to do, that passion. I mean, I've known people that loved animals. I know guys that, they love the medical field, the bands, the actors, the writers, everything. And the whole idea is that passion. So let's not base it on the fact that, we're talking about me and my passion, but that's the key, passion. Whatever your passion is, that's where you're led to. And you know what? I heard a phrase, and I haven't used it in a while, but the bottom line is, if you're really, really doing something that you love, I mean, in your gut, and you can do it for free, then it's not work. And when you're doing something that you love and it's not work, money is not the problem. See, we get caught up in the fact that we look at all these different careers and dreams and, there's a lot of money in that. Oh, you can make a lot of money. I have family members who have their own business. I have in-laws who are in the medical field. My guy's a doctor. My guy's an engineer, and they travel around the world. That's great. But where's the passion? When you incorporate passion into what you really want to do with your life, that's where the meat and potatoes are. So, and listen, I'm going to tell you right now, like I said, I'm going to sing it to the rooftops. I'm trying to address that middle-aged group there. It's never too late. I'm sure we've traveled the road a little bit. You got some stories. I got some stories. Some of them good, some of them bad. Some of them not so bad, thank God. You didn't wind up in jail or anything, but you have some life experience. So my deal is, get out there and share it. Go after your passion. I don't care what it is. And I kind of twisted this thing and went off because I'm thinking about my own life and things that I go through every day. I'm in the midst of working on a couple projects. I'm in the midst of trying to do something to help dedicate it to my mother, my father, and their charities and their illnesses that eventually got the best of them. So you're always being creative, and that's important. That's important. If you get my message today, if there's one person that's listening to LBJ right now, I'm telling you, get up off your duff. Find that passion that you really want to do. Don't listen to anybody. Don't even listen to your family. And I know family's important. Go after your passion. All right. And see how you feel. If it's, just one little thing, see how you feel. You might not finish it today. You might not finish it. There's no time frame. But just put your foot in the water and see how you feel. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And I guess I like to say this, seriously, with my spirituality and everything else, with the grace of God, I am telling you right now, I'm not done. I love talking to you fine people here and around the world. I'm not done. I mean, this journey, I don't know exactly where it's going to end up, but I do know one thing. The one thing I want to do is I want to help people. I want to change lives. I want to be an inspiration. I want people to go after their passion. Okay? And my title, Dreams Deferred, because we all have it. We all have dreams deferred. And until you start deciding that you're not going to listen to anybody, listen to yourself, listen to your heart, and go after what you were meant to do, that's where the joy comes in. So, wow. Where did all that come from? I even lost my track there. I was going to go a little old school. But anyway, so as I'm looking at some of the stuff that I had actually laid out here, the bottom line is I have a passion for theater and acting and stuff. And this past year, I was very fortunate with my family that we've actually went to see a lot of Broadway shows this year. And my son, who's, he's kind of the sports guy of the family, and actually took him to his first show, and he really, really enjoyed that. So it's kind of fun for him to experience Broadway. Actually, a very dear friend of mine actually got me on a Broadway stage, blow my mind, and met one of her friends who actually has worked with in the past. She's a dancer, she's an actress, she's actually has done so many things. Her husband is a Broadway actor, and she hooked us up, and we actually went on stage, and we got to meet a cast and some of its members and dancers from the new Broadway show, Hadestown. And it was just phenomenal. You're talking about somebody being in their glory. Oh, my God. Me and my daughter, and even my wife, they were sitting there, and they were like, OMG. I took a bunch of pictures, and I said, I made it. I made it to Broadway. That was kind of funny. So anyway, I won't go over all the shows we went to. Just looking at a few. My daughter, of course, a lot of Disney shows. We went to see some serious shows: Killing Mockingbird, Hadestown, West Side Story. My daughter, Mean Girls. All these different shows we saw. So we had a really great time. So that's it. So I wanted to get away from some of the heavy conversation that we're dealing with right now, and I just wanted to be light. And if I rambled on, I apologize. And if I reached one person, and my goal today is, I'm going to say it again, go after that passion. Make one step today. One step towards that passion that you really, really like. Start writing that book. Go after those dreams that you've deferred, and see how you feel. Reach out and tell me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, I'm going to go old school. I know I'm kind of going over my time limit here, but I just wanted to, I got this book from my mother some years ago. I will not let it go. It's the complete life's little instruction booklet, not mine. I'm not going to go over the old person who put it out, whatever, but it was just a bunch of little snippets of things that really make a whole lot of sense. And I open it up, I look at it, and I live by it. It goes into my brain and stuff like that. Here you go. One real quick one. You look at it, I'll just give you a number. 676 is, it's mind your own business. Makes a lot of sense, right? It's not being fresh. It's not being anything. Just mind your own business. People got things going on in their lives. Just mind your own business. And here's another one I'm looking at. Be as friendly to your janitor as you are to the chairman of the board. Wow. Come on. Be as friendly to the janitor as you are to the CEO. Makes sense to me. Listen, at the end of the day, the CEO leaves the building. The janitor's still inside. So I'd watch out. He cleans your desk. All right, here's another one. Listen, every year celebrate the day you and your wife had your first date. How many people do that? I mean, that's celebrate the day you had your first. I remember my first date with my wife. It was pretty interesting. All right, treat your employees with the best and the same respect you give your clients. Same thing with the janitor. And let's go one more, because I can go on and all day with this here. Ladies and gentlemen, slow down. I mean, really slow down in the school zone. You think about that one. I don't have to explain that. All right. I can't help it. One more. Don't expect the best gifts to come wrapped in pretty paper. Wow. All right, I'm done, because I can go on and on and on. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, please, thank you for allowing me to come into your life for the last few minutes. I hope you gained a little something, got a little motivated. As of myself, I'm completely motivated right now. I'm going to work on that new project that was in my brain. Do me a favor. Take care of yourself. Take care of your families, because family is important, especially in this time of need, this time of world pandemic. Let's look out for each other. Seriously. And if you see someone with a need, and stick your hand out and help them if you can. I believe this one act really, really will make the world a better place. And it's going to be one of those things that help you on your journey to becoming the best person that you were meant to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm LBJ. Thank you. You're there and I'm here. And you've been listening to the heartfelt truth. Stay safe. And we'll talk again.